I decided to join ROTC on a whim almost. I went in and talked to the cadre, tried the program out, ended up loving it, and never looked back.
I decided at a pretty young age that the military is something I wanted to be a part of. My dad served for 24 years, and that was kind of a big motivation for me to join. I kind of wanted to do my part.
I'd say it was for financial reasons, for one. It was good to be able to pay for college through it, but really over time, the reasons became less about that and more about serving the country at that point.
I stayed in the program because that feeling of purpose and belonging just grew. And then as soon as I went to field training and became POC, it became a huge part of my life and one of my bigger goals to commission.
Global vigilance, reach, and power. The vision of the United States Air Force calls for officers, men and women to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace. Here at Detachment 442, the Flying Miners, we equip our cadets with the leadership skills and experience to join the ranks of the world's greatest air power.
When you enter into the Air Force, you are going to be a second lieutenant, and you are going to be leading members of the enlisted forces and potentially members of the commissioned officer forces. And you can't do that without experiencing some sort of commissioning program, whether it's ROTC, OTS, or even the Air Force Academy.
From entering as an AS-100 or AS-250 to commissioning into the United States Air Force as a second lieutenant upon completion of the 4-year program, Air Force ROTC constantly challenges cadets to grow as both leaders and people, serving their country while becoming men and women of integrity and excellence.
The sole purpose is to prepare you as a leader within the ranks of officers, to create an officer out of you.
The end goal of ROTC is to train and develop quality leaders for the Air Force.
Cadets may join as freshmen or sophomores, and 3 to 5 year scholarships are readily available. GMC cadets take 4 one-credit-hour courses during the first 2 years of Air Force ROTC. In the professional officer course, cadets will take 4 3-credit-hour courses in the semesters after returning from field training. 4 additional hours are required per week in the form of physical training and leadership lab.
It's not too different. There's just that military aspect, and you're being held to a higher standard.
A typical week in the life of an ROTC cadet would be, for me personally, I go to PT on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 6 a.m. It's not that bad.
And then you'll have a class that you'll go to each week, and where you'll learn more of the classroom aspect of the Air Force, whether it be history or like what the foundations or even just the basic information about the Air Force that you'll learn during your first year.
And the leadership lab is on Thursday, and that's just 2 hours in the afternoon.
We learn new material, we are tested on what we've learned, and we have opportunities to help serve the community or even field leadership exercises where we get to practice more of a combat scenario with paintball guns, which is always a highlight of most cadets' semesters.
The General Military Course, or GMC, is open for all students to join without legal commitment. Upon contracting before field training or upon receiving a scholarship, cadets incur a 4-year minimum service commitment to active duty air power. Air Force officer career fields are many, with a few of the 150 being pilot, combat systems operator, remote pilot, scientist, developmental engineer, intelligence officer, cyberspace operations, space operations, and missile operations. All provide a bounty of leadership experience.
This is the time where you want to try new things, where you want to make mistakes, where you want to just really get out there and show what you've got.
And I think even if you join and you don't continue through the program, you're still going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn a lot about how to lead. You're going to learn a lot about how to be a better individual as a whole. And these are all very, very valuable things that you can apply in other fields as well.
You will become a stronger person, mentally, physically. You'll be more prepared to serve your country. And DEP 442 is just, the greatest place I can think of to do that.
Air Force ROTC, developing quality leaders to lead the Air Force of tomorrow.